Well, how many people are ready for the word this morning? All right. I know somebody's like, oh my God, do they yell and clap at everything? Like, hey, listen, you work in so many atmospheres and live in so many atmospheres that suck. No, come on, let's be honest. We spend a lot of time complaining about wanting to get out of something, and I want to make sure when you come to church that it's the same energy and the same atmosphere of joy that you would get at a place that doesn't glorify God. Because we got good news. And the good news is that Jesus has come and he's marked us for purpose. Somebody just shout at me, I'm marked. We are in week 7. Now, I told y'all, I already warned everybody. I said, if y'all don't want to hear about being marked, come back in July. Because I'm going to finish this whole rest of this month. I'm going to talk about being marked by God because I feel like there's so many people in this room who really have been marked by God but are having struggles navigating the process. Like you know that you're made for more than what you're experiencing right now, and you know that God has placed something on the inside of you, but the process is just on your nerves. Okay, I got a couple amens from this section. Or the process, like you don't feel like you have enough to go through it. And so what I'm doing in this series is I'm helping you through the Bible and the leadership of David and to be able to see that there is a process. And if you can understand some of these things that you're probably going through right now, it'll make you stay in the fight. Do you know that we're in a fixed fight? No, y'all ain't acting like it. We are in a fixed fight. Now, some of you have never fought before, so you don't know what that is. But a fixed fight is when you literally know the outcome before you get in the ring. And the problem is for most believers is the only way you lose the fight is if you never show up for it. And the reason why most people are losing fights is because they never show up for the fight that God's called you to. Well, if God's a good God, why would he call me to a fight? Because he told you with him, you're more than a conqueror. He lets you know that in this life we're going to have trouble, but take heart. It's a fixed fight. I've already overcome the world. I've defeated death, hell, and the grave. I got this, but you got to stand in the ring. And many of us, because we're afraid of getting hit, let's be honest, not my face. Because we're afraid of getting hit, we never get in the ring. The crazy thing is we get hit anyway. So what happens when you're walking around with bruises but no victory belt? What happens as a church as we walk around talking about God is the greatest, but you look like you just got mollywopped. Some of y'all still like, mollywopped? I have no idea. You look bad, okay? So today, I wanted to help everybody who's going through an obstacle. Everybody who's going through a challenge. Let me just be very clear right now. All of us are going through something we don't want to go through right now, okay? If you can identify the thing that you're going through, that obstacle that you're going through that you don't like, just raise your hand. Like if you got an obstacle that you're going through, okay, we're in good company. So the title of today's message is, What's on the Other Side of This Crap? I had to be real today. Is it okay if I'm real? 'Cause I need to know there's something on the other side of this crap. Now, I don't know, some of y'all looking at me so dignified like you ain't never felt that. But I'm just trying to identify, some of y'all going through marriage problems, that's crap. And you're like, if we're going to pay all this money and go through all this counseling, what's on the other side of this crap? Some of y'all are going through insecurities that you're having to press your way outside of, but it's uncomfortable and it's frustrating. And you're saying, God, there's got to be something on the other side of this crap. Now, if you want to explore and use other language for this, that's between you and God. But I'm going to keep it right here. What's on the other side of this crap? Because some of you have teenagers right now. And you didn't know that you would be having to navigate through who you used to be and knowing you passed that DNA onto somebody else. And now they're dealing with it, and you're trying to do it from a godly perspective, but you just want to take them to the ring. And okay. And you're wondering in your prayer time, God, what's on the other side of this crap? Like finding those text messages and trying to deal with it. What's on the other side? And I don't know what your obstacle is today, but I want to let you know that there is something on the other side of it. And let me tell you what it is. It's elevation. See, when you're marked, write this down. This is your first point today. And we're going to see this through David's life. You were elevated only one way. Through obstacles. Most people want to be elevated, but they do not want to go. Everybody say through. You do not get to bypass obstacles. See the yogurt that she wants. And what ends up happening is, as you're thinking about that as a little child, to speak to things and they gotta move. He's giving you the ability. So that you could move the situation. And you're still waiting. And so this is why I need you to understand from this point on, obstacles aren't bad. They're necessary for my elevation. No. You need to hear that. Obstacles are not bad. Are they inconvenient? Yes. For you to learn something for the level he's taking you to. David's going to find this out in a very, very real way. Because he's serving in the palace. He's serving his father at this moment. His dad asked him to take some grilled cheese sandwiches to his brothers on the front line. He goes to do that. And I want us to pick up this story in 1 Samuel. But before we do that, I want to give somebody an anchor scripture because some of y'all are looking at me like, Pastor, you're going to have to tell me something else. James chapter 1, verse 2. It says, consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials, whenever you face obstacles of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith, everybody say faith. This is all about your faith. Who do you believe in, you or God? Like the reason he sends tests, I got this revelation. God always sends tests that he knows he can conquer and you can't. So that you always have to go to him to be able to do it. But he's going to do it through you. And that's why he said, this is going to produce perseverance. See, if you learn it at this level, you're going to be stronger for the next obstacle that comes. Somebody asked me, Pastor Mike, does serving God get easier? I said, no, you get stronger. No. You missed it. The same things that trip you off when you're a baby Christian or when you're first in faith, it doesn't get easier. It'll be the same thing, but you get stronger. And this is what God is trying to do. See, you're going to rise, but there will always be resistance to your rise, but you are resilient. There is something that God has built on the inside of you that's going to allow your obstacles to never take you out unless you let it. And that's what David's about to find out. In 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 21, it says, Israel and the Philistines were drawing up their lines facing each other. Like all of us in here know that we're facing something, some type of obstacle. David left the things with the keeper and the supplies and ran to the battle lines. He was going to see his brothers. He's probably happy like, hey, Eliel, what's up, bro? Hey, I know y'all in a battle right now, but Dad was thinking about y'all. And I got you something, your favorite grilled cheese. And watch, this is what happens. Look what it says. He asked his brothers how they were. And then look at verse 23. This is why you got to pay attention to the details. It says, as he was talking. Everybody said, as he was. Okay? I want you to realize that he was doing what he was told to do. But while he was doing what he was told to do, Goliath, an obstacle, Philistine champion from Gath, stepped out from his lines and shouted his usual defiance, and David heard it. When you're marked, interruptions are introductions. A lot of us hate being interrupted. Let's be honest. If you do not like being interrupted when you're talking, when you're driving, when you're eating, raise your hand right now. Come on. Do not talk to me right now. But what I found out that when you're marked, you should not look at interruptions in a bad way. Interruptions should be the things that make your antenna go up. That, this might be an introduction to the thing that God's about to use. Like a lot of us, when we get interrupted, well, God, I was just doing what you told me to do. He said, that's exactly right. And because your elevation is wrapped up in an obstacle, like because you're about to go up, but you got to go through something to go up. He said, I'm going to allow some things that go against your perfect plan to interrupt you. And instead of running away from it and being mad about it, you need to realize I'm trying to introduce you to your next opportunity to go up. And some of us, anytime, like we'll be driving and the tire pops or goes flat. Oh my God, I don't have time for this today. And you start working yourself into a tizzy. And you know what a tizzy is, like. And what ends up happening is when you stop and you go into whatever mode that is where you're not looking at what God may be doing, you miss the things that God's trying to introduce you to. So what I started doing when stuff started interrupting my day, like let's just use the tire for example, because that's happened to your boy before. Tire pop on the side of the road, waiting for emergency assistance. I said, God, I wonder who you about to introduce me to today that's going to take my purpose to another level. You thought so much of what was going on that you threw an interruption in my way. That if I could recognize you in it, this may be the introduction to something brand new that's taking me to another level. And I know some of y'all sitting there like, how does that even make sense right now? The obstacle of Goliath started shouting as he was doing what God told him to do. What happens when you're doing what God told you to do and something else starts shouting at you? Something you didn't plan for happens. There's an unexpected death or a loss in your family. Somebody starts talking about you that you don't even know, but it sways the opinion of people you care about. What happens? And for most of us, we get so frustrated and we leave the situation. This is what most of us would have done. Oh my God, he's rude. Here's your sandwiches. I'm going back to my place of comfort. I don't got to take this. And what you didn't take, you just left your elevation to. What you were too good to be able to go, everybody say through. What you were too impatient to go through, you just forfeited the thing that God wanted to do in your life. And most of us would have left. But I just need you to know, today is all about perspectives changing. Your interruptions may be an introduction. Let's keep going in the story. David in 1 Samuel 17, verse 24, he learned something. Because when you're marked, perspective positions you. Everybody say, how I see matters. See, at this moment, David's about to face a giant who has been talking crazy for 40 days. He didn't just walk up on something and this is the first time everybody's seeing it. Day after day, this giant comes up, it says as usual, and starts talking crazy to the entire Israel army and about God. And so David comes up to this situation, and when everybody is about to take a step backwards, because of David's perspective, he's going to take a step forward. And my question is, how are you seeing? Because if your perspective is broken, you're not going to move to the position you're supposed to move to. I'm going to help you because some of y'all still here looking at me crazy. 1 Samuel 17, 24. Whenever the Israelites, an entire trained army, when they saw Goliath, when their perspective was messed up, they all fled from him. So let me give you an idea, okay? They're standing here, oh yeah, we about to get him today. It's day 39. I'm about to take this fool out. He ain't gonna do nothing to me no more, okay? And then Brenton, come be Goliath right here. As soon as they see him, and it's usually a place where you don't make the best decisions. These people would retreat every time they understand you're going through